vlog. I feel like I'm running out of topics, seriously. But a couple of people asked me to tell some dating stories, so I'm gonna do that. So specifically dating stories about dating Korean guys in Korea. So I have no idea what it's like in the States or anywhere else because I've never dated a Korean guy in anywhere else. But this is just going on dates. I haven't had any serious relationships with Korean guys since I've been here, and that's been 4 years. It just never works out for one reason or another. So I'll tell you, when I first got here and I didn't understand Korean dating culture, which I explained a little bit in the first part 1 of this, so watch part 1. But I didn't know, like, when I first got here, like, Koreans don't really date online. Like, that's really, like, not a thing that a normal person would do looking for a good relationship. So I didn't know, and so I had my status on one of these sites as just, like, casual dating. Because I thought, hey, I'm only going to be here for a year. It's nothing serious, but I really meant, like, dating, you know, like, relationship, not, like... Yeah, so generally in Korea, casual dating in English would mean casual sex, like hookups. No joke. I had no idea, okay? So, like, I'm me, just being me, going to, like, meet this guy who's like, hey, let's, you know, meet up, you know, when I get off of work, blah, blah, blah. Thinking we're going on, like, a normal date. And over the course of the evening, I realized this guy, number 1, can, like, barely speak English. Number 2, he's really boring and awkward. And number 3, when I suggested, hey, well, after we eat, why don't we go meet my friends? Because I thought that would be less awkward, right? You don't know this person, and you just, you know, it's weird just to be hanging around, and I want to get to know him. So we decided to meet my friends, and when we got there, I realized he's, like, totally scared of, like, Western guys, right? So he suddenly... like, looked like he got really sick. Like, he started talking more quietly, kind of almost to the point of mumbling, and he's just like, I think I should go. It was really weird. So I had no idea until in retrospect when I looked back on it and then was talking to another friend about it, I realized what had happened. So this guy brought, like, no money, okay? So, like, we go to eat and he's like, I already ate. And I'm like, well, why would you invite me out if you already ate? And he had to use a credit card because he had no money. And then we went to go get the taxi to go meet my friends, and he hails a taxi and then says to me, oh, do you have money? And I'm like, hello, like, that was, like, really whack. I'm like, who does that? Who does that? But I thought, you know what, I do have money, because when we get to my friends, this is so over. So we get there, and he's progressively, quote-unquote, sick over the course of the evening. That was really stupid. So basically, this guy had no intention of going anywhere. I guess he lived close to where we met and just thought he was going to parlay that back into an apartment, I have no money booty call. I don't think so. That was really whack. Like, extra whack. Yeah, so, I mean, I think the thing is, like, in, you know, Korean media, everyone's portrayed as, like, super innocent and, like, so kind, but nowhere in the world are people super innocent and super kind and selfless. So, especially when it comes to dealing between men and women. So, don't fall for the hype, you know, don't fall for the propaganda. It's real over here. People are doing what they do, just like they do anywhere else in the world. So, keep that in mind, ladies. The second one, which... this guy, I don't want to give away too much information because he's actually nice, but I nicknamed him Thug Life. So, as you can obviously see, I'm a black female. So my friend back home, she's like, hey, this guy used to live, you know, in your area of the States. You should, you know, I won't explain how she knows him, but she's like, hey, you know, contact this guy. So I contact this guy, and he's into urban culture, which is to say that he was one of these fellas that, you know, hung out with a lot of brown people back in the States. And so we go on a date, we meet, and I don't know if he's trying to impress me. He's got, like, hip-hop playing in the car, like old school hip-hop and, like, all this, right? And but the thing is, like, we just didn't click. Like, I like hip-hop kinda, depending on who it is. It's not really my thing. I'm not gonna be impressed. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, dog, oh my god, son. You know, like, none of that's gonna happen. So I'm just like, who are you? What are you about? I wanna, you know, get to know you. So it was, like, really awkward. And dude was, like, talking about his homeboys and all this, like, I'm not making this up. So I'm just like, Oh my gosh, what does he have, like thug life across his stomach like Tupac? Like what is this? You know, he was reasonably nice, and let me tell you, he was really good looking. It was such a disappointment because when I saw him I was like, thank you girl, oh my god. But unfortunately, he just didn't have as much going on up here, and you know, he's a little bit too like, yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to diss too hard because he's not doing that stuff like intentionally, in the sense of like he's not always like that. He is always like that, and I guess that was supposed to be impressing me, but it wasn't. I was just like, oh no, you know, my fur. Anyway, yeah, it was not working for me. So that's the thing. You never know what you're gonna get. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have expected to run into a native Korean guy who was all like, yeah, so you know, I'm saying. And I've actually had other black girls say that they got stepped to by like some Korean guys that were really like stepping to them really hard. Like one girl got practically chased down the sidewalk, and she was like, no. And Korean guy, and he's just like, oh, don't do me like that. He was like, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to get to know you. So you never know what you're gonna get out here. Seriously. Whoa, camera. Yeah. So that date was interesting, to say the least. And, you know, I'm sure my experiences differ from someone from a different cultural background, right? But that's what I got. And then I think I've gone on my favorite date. Unfortunately, my favorite date was with Mr. Married. So I didn't know he was married at the time that we met. And of course, when he's like, hey, call me anytime, let's go out. Yeah, that didn't exactly say married to me. We have a mutual acquaintance who, being native Korean, didn't feel that it was his role to mention anything. I think that's the bros before hoes code. So he's just like, oh, okay, I mean, you're mad that he's married? I'm like, you about to get called all out your name if you thought that wasn't an important piece of information you needed to mention when you were like, oh, you like my boy? Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he's cool. He got a wife and 2 kids. How about that for information? Anyway, that was a really great date because we went to a cake buffet. Oh my god, there was a cake buffet, okay? Let me just tell you, that was real. That was so good. But I would say, as far as going on dates with Korean boys, Korean men in general are very good at dating. They're really good at like making you feel comfortable on a date, and you know, making sure everything's there and just paying for stuff so you don't really have to worry or think about anything. But from everyone, not everyone, let's put it this way, from a lot of people, unfortunately, all of those skills don't really make it into like their husbandship, if that's a word. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I've not heard the best about them keeping those skills up all the way through marriage. So it's I think more of a letdown than dating a Western guy, because Western guys aren't particularly skilled in the art of dating. And yeah, but they still typically do a couple of dishes, you know. So I don't know. Too much rambling. If you have specific questions, then please post them, and I'll try to answer them. I just would tell you a couple of random stories. Thug life, I really want to go hard on him, but I'm going to be gracious because this is the internet. So if you meet me in person, ask me about thug life, and I'll break it all the way down for you. But anyways, okay, so until tomorrow, I'm running out of topics. Please give me topics. Until tomorrow, see you later. Bye!